How did a ladybug get in my room? That's strange. Somehow a ladybug flew into my room and was crawling on my bed. And it was very strange. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We haven't, I think we skipped last stream. Why did I do that? Oh yes, I wanted to spend some time to finish up my essay. I remember now, and I did finish it up, but it wasn't until about 1:30, so it's actually a good thing that I canceled my stream. We only have a few things left to do in regards to building the homestead and Thieves Club. I did go ahead and win 500 euros playing games, and I kind of followed the same method as when I got the original gamer achievement. There are many guides for getting this achievement, for winning different games. Many people say that for this challenge, it's best for you to do. It's best for you to go what's called play on intermediate game because the AI is easier. I have found that the AI is very inconsistent. Sometimes it is very easy to win a game, but other times you'll find yourself in an endless loop where the enemy just makes the same moves all the time and it doesn't give you an opening at all. Because of this, I have kind of resorted to the tactics I use for getting the original gamer achievement, where I use the same tricks where I
can't make any sense of it. From the assay office. You sent him some ore? Yes. Yes, I did.
oh. I use the same tricks to sorry, I thought that was something I was missing. I use the same tricks where I got the wins for the original gamer achievement. The one that I primarily used was using a AI to beat the AI in Panorama. I mentioned this before, but there's an app you can download on your phone called Panorama where you can set the difficulty of the AI. Okay, well, the Taylor isn't here. But you can set the difficulty of the AI to a certain... Yeah, she's not here. Where you can set the difficulty of the AI to a certain, what's called... I guess I'm just going to New York for this. You can set the difficulty of the AI to the maximum difficulty, and it essentially, in theory, makes it so that the AI of the app is smarter than the AI of the game. Game being Assassin's Creed 3. It doesn't work 100% of the time. I found like 5 or 6 times out of 10 I get a win. So it's not entirely 100% effective. But it is effective enough for me to get the points I need for the win. But if you want to get the challenge done, I would highly recommend you go ahead and I would highly recommend you go ahead and get the what's called. I highly recommend you go ahead and get that challenge done any way you can, because really I can kind of consider it easier to I consider it easier for me to get the challenge using the same cheap tactics I used for getting the original gamer achievement. But some people may find both to be easier, and some people may find both to be easier. Some people may find playing on intermediate to be easier. But I have found that the AI is just so inconsistent that oftentimes it makes it like more difficult than it needs to be. So I just kind of use the same trick I used for getting the original gamer achievement to get the 500 euros. And it wasn't like every single time I won, but it was like once every 2 or 3 games. So it wasn't entirely consistent, but it was consistent enough for me to get the wins. But I did have to sell all my hunting materials in order for me to get enough money, because at one point I went down below 5,000 after trying and failing to get different games to work for me. But yeah, that's the best advice I can give. In the meantime, what I'm going to be doing today is actually going to get the finish up the Thieves Challenge and get started on the privateer contracts. I wanted to finish the privateer contracts before I go ahead and turn my attention to completing sequence 10. For those of you at all curious, we don't really have that much left to do in regards to the clubs. We have the Thieves Guild to finish up, and we have the Frontiersmen to finish up, which we cannot do until we progress in the story. We have 3 sequences totaling 5, 6, 7 missions. We have a bunch of naval contracts that I'm hoping to get started on today. And we have homestead missions that we cannot complete until the next sequence. So we really don't have that much to do, and we also have a few miscellaneous achievements that I will be getting eventually. But we are fast approaching the end of this game. I really think that maybe in about 3 or 4 more live streams, I will be able to finish up Assassin's Creed 3, the base game of Assassin's Creed 3. And we'll be moving on to the Tyranny of King Washington DLC. I have never I never played the Tyranny of King Washington DLC, nor have I ever played the Assassin's Creed Liberation. I've heard many people praise Liberation for it being like a really well-designed map, game I mean. So for that reason, I'm really looking forward to playing it. I'm actually going to get a new outfit. I'm going to get the Baltimore outfit, just to get a new look. And let's go ahead and finish up this achievement, this challenge. I am really excited to finally be done with this. It was really kind of a pain. It was really a pain, but we are almost done here. So we need to pickpocket 1,500 florins, or euros, I mean. Florins was the currency in the Ezio trilogy. At least in regards to Assassin's Creed 2. I don't know about Assassin's Creed, I don't know about Assassin's Creed, Brotherhood of Revelations. I'm hoping we can get, like, this done relatively fast. I'm not gonna pickpocket multiple times because I've noticed that I tend to get materials for repeated pickpockets. So I'm just wandering around to try and get some, easy coins. Okay, so once we are done here, we're going to turn our attention to the privateer contracts. We really don't have that much left to do. And we didn't get anything from him. And honestly, I feel like I may be able to do most, if not all, of the privateer contracts in the time that I will be streaming this. We are just need 1,000 more coins. This shouldn't really take too long. But I looked into the privateer contracts a little bit, and I noticed that it usually takes maybe about like anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes to complete it. So in theory, it shouldn't take too long, but there are some tricky challenges for 100% completion, and I will be getting them all done. Luckily, in my opinion, from this point on, games are actually a lot. Assassin's Creed games are a lot more easier because I have a play at the nearest checkpoint thing. Whereas before, you couldn't actually do that, which kind of makes it really annoying. But, yeah, trying to do it all in one go in Assassin's Creed, in earlier Assassin's Creed games, was just an absolute nightmare. Simply because of the fact that you can't actually, simply because of the fact that you can't actually, restart at the checkpoint, and if you screw up at 100% sync requirements, you have to restart the whole mission, which makes things an absolute slog to get through. Just gonna get out of this area. But it's, I really am looking forward to the games in the future. Oh, speaking of Assassin's Creed games, it has been, I know leaks aren't really something to really praise about or really to give any credit, but if this is true, I'm really excited for the next Assassin's Creed game. There has been a recent leak that suggests that the next Assassin's Creed game will not only release in 2022. Oh my god, stop. But you will be able. Okay, I'm gonna go to a different area. It will not only release in 2022, but you will be able to play as Basim, who was a character you meet in Valhalla, who was an assassin slash Isu. Spoiler alert, but really Valhalla's been out for a couple years, and I feel like anyone who plays Valhalla would know who Basim was, considering that most people probably have beaten the game by now. But you'll be able to play Basim from the past as a playable protagonist, and I'm just so excited for that. I don't know if Basim, well, I'm assuming Basim will be also the modern day protagonist, considering how Valhalla ended. But I'm thinking that because I have a nasty habit of abandoning games I play, I may end up streaming that game live when it comes out. There's also a slight possibility that I may stream Tiny Tina's Wonderlands when it comes out. Simply because of the fact that I feel like every single game I start, I always end up just losing interest in playing it, or really just running out of time to play it. And the one thing that I love about streaming on Twitch is it just gives me the perfect opportunity to get these to make some progress on these games and to actually beat and complete these games. Because I am a completionist by nature, but I'm just I often lack motivation to play games, often because I find myself stuck in an endless loop of collectible farming that I just completely lose interest in the game, or I encounter a mission that I struggle with and I just procrastinate in trying to complete it. And I just leave it for it to be completed at a later time, which ends up being never. So that's one thing I love about streaming on Twitch. It just gives me the perfect opportunity to make some progress on these games. So for that reason, there's a slight possibility I may be playing Wonderlands at launch in the next Assassin's Creed game, which people have. I think the project name was mentioned to be called Rift. I don't know if it's going to be called Assassin's Creed Rift or something else, but I am looking forward to this Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's Creed is by far my favorite series, and I just cannot wait to play the next entry. My goal, the reason why I've been playing like these Assassin's Creed games in chronological order, is I wanted to do 100% every single Assassin's Creed game in the series. I have yet to actually do that for Valhalla and Assassin's Creed Origins, and I think I may end up streaming those games one of these days, but since I will not be able to complete every single Assassin's Creed game by the time the next one comes out, I will instead be streaming possibly 2 Assassin's Creed games at once. This will, I don't think it will give me, like, at all like jaded or something from playing too many Assassin's Creed games, but it is something because they offer like different experiences, and that's something that really that's something that I was kind of worried about when I first started, of how like if I played like Assassin's Creed like 3 and Assassin's Creed 4 at the same time, I'll probably lose interest. But I honestly don't think that'll be an issue. If I pace out the games I play, like if I play like say Assassin's Creed 4 on Saturdays and Assassin's Creed whatever the last game is on hey, I need to clear these guys out. I play Assassin's Creed 4 on Saturdays. Okay, really? And I play Assassin's Creed, the new Assassin's Creed game on Sundays. I honestly don't think I'll be too jaded. But it's honestly just kind of, really just, like different experiences all around is what I'm trying to say. I love it when I get these double assassinations out. I need to, that's one downside to stealing is we're technically committing crimes, so, military will get involved. I have really hard time multitasking. I'm the type of person where I can talk and chew gum at the same time. So, God, really leave me alone. So for that reason, I have issues trying to say what I'm trying to say. I have no idea how. It's like I feel like they just saw me through a wall. I swear. Okay, I need to go barehanded again. I need to get away from these guards. 785 and 1,500. This is barely gonna be a slot to get there. I'm already about 20 minutes in. When I am done with this challenge, I'm gonna go back to the homestead and try and get some more challenges done. I really want to wrap up the book, what's it called, the book of the encyclopedia of the common man, because I've never actually done that before in any game, so I'm really kind of excited to play that, to do that. Something else I will say, I've been hearing a lot of conflicting opinions about Assassin's Creed Liberation. I'm excited to play that on my own, but there are some people who think the Liberation is a bad game, or there's some people that think it's a good game. But I'm really kind of excited to actually form my own opinion on it and just experience it for myself. I did hear that to get the true ending, you need to do like all the side activities essentially. So I will be getting that. I will be doing everything before I complete the main game. But I'm really kind of excited to do that. I have heard a lot of good things about. I think her name is Aveline or Adeline or something. really cannot wait to play that game. Leave me alone, urchins. Hey, 826 of 500 of 1,500. Yeah, the reason why Assassin's Creed is really my favorite game series is because, in my opinion, no other game that I can think of really has any interesting of a story where they integrate both modern day and past things that kind of integrate into the game, which I think is just absolutely fascinating. They have covered so many different time periods, and for the most part, it actually makes you feel like you're actually in those times. And it's really kind of an amazing experience to actually feel like you're traversing the Renaissance, to feel like you're uh, a pirate sailing the Caribbean. It's just really a very immersive experience. There's really very few things that just kind of break the immersion. And it really has like a fascinating story in my opinion. But it's really the past that really interests me, and also you can't ever go wrong with the mystery of the Isu. Although I do kind of miss the fact that the Isu were kind of more of like a secondary thing in terms of the story, because now I swear to God, every single game just focuses heavily on the Isu. But Isu's first civilization. And I remember when the first civilization first came up, it was Assassin's Creed 2. So many people were just speculating as to who the Isu were, and now that we're in this game, now that where we are at, it's just makes things a little bit. Leave me alone, urchins. It makes things a little bit not really disenfranchising, but just kind of distracting, I guess, when you have like an entire plot line for the story being involving the Isu, which was a case in Odyssey and Valhalla. And I just kind of miss the days when the Isu were kind of more mysterious, kind of took more of the background rather than the foreground, I guess. I need to get some more people. I'm actually gonna fast travel back to the docks. But I still enjoy Assassin's Creed. It's still like one of my favorite game series. It's just kind of makes things a little bit distracting, I guess. And they guys sitting on nothing. Kind of makes things a bit distracting, I guess, when they do something. When they just kind of focus entirely on the Isu. These guys just disappeared. I do kind of like this outfit for Connor. I like it better than my other outfit, at least. Okay, we just have about 500-ish more, 560 more. Let's try and get this done. I'm trying to be fast about this, but it's just, kind of makes it a little bit difficult when I'm just, getting just nothing but, what's called, collectibles, I guess. Okay. Eventually we will get this challenge done. It's just these farming challenges is kind of like a slog to get through. It's the case in the earlier Assassin's Creed games. I don't know if challenges were a thing in after this, but I do know it is kind of a pain to get through in Brotherhood and Revelations, because I think Brotherhood's when challenges were introduced. I'm gonna wait until these guards go away. I don't want to initiate a conflict with them.
For the very best in firearms, you need but stop at one expedient location. Maurice has all patterns in stock. Strange happening. Three-legged
Okay, we are almost at the 1,000 euros mark. Okay, 500 more to go. We're almost done. Any more? Let's go over here and grab this guy. Okay. Don't really have that much left to do. I'm honestly really excited to start the privateer contracts. I was kind of loathing the concept of doing them. But after watching a couple videos just to see what it's about, first of all, I was really concerned that they would play sea shanties, which will get me a copyright strike. But second off, I was also worried about them being like increasingly, some of them being increasingly difficult. And I'm not gonna lie, there are some things that will be difficult, but for the most part, they all seem like pretty straightforward. And because of the fact that I can restart at checkpoints, I honestly don't think it'll be that bad. Or more. So when I am done with this, before I go ahead and do the, I think I just mentioned this, but I forgot. It's very possible I just mentioned this, but I am going to be going back to the homes to try and get some more entries. And something else I will say, I will not be streaming for the full 3 hours. I will be streaming for 2 hours instead. So instead of 4, gonna be ending up at 3.
call upon the services of a qualified physician. The city's medical register is always at your service.
Really? Alright, well, I'm not.
For cheerful divers,
Oak Bark. These urchins are really annoying. Just gonna try and get away from them. I also wanted to get away from the patrolling guards. Oh, we got guards coming this way. I'm gonna get away from them. I really don't want it to deal with those guards, so... Odd how there's no NPCs here.